Hello everyone, welcome back to Backend Connect the Dots channel. Last video I talked about the Salesforce Composite Connector, right? In this video, I will like to be mainly focused on the development side. And last video I have shown you like how do we get those credentials we needed for the connector configurations. I've showed you how do you we get that, and uh, and we tested it from the Postman also get to verify we are able to connect to the Salesforce and get the token or not. So in this video, before jumping into the demo, I would like to give a quick recap. The Salesforce Composite Connector is help to do multiple operations in a single request call. So the main three components of the composite connector is request, batch, and sObject tree. A request is helps to has you can send like 25 sub request calls in a one call, and one can be dependent on each other. So the one of the sub requests might be dependent on the other sub request. So the rollback option is also available on the request. So one of them fails, entire whatever the sub request in that call will be rolled back. Okay. Coming to the batch one, this it is also similar to the request. It also supports 25 sub requests, but the only main difference is the sub requests are not dependent on each other. So each request is dependent on its own itself. It's not dependent on the other sub request. Whether it's a failed or passed this other sub request, this will be executed. So no rollback option is available on the batch connector. Coming to the S object tree, this is a kind of a Salesforce composite connect request only, but it supports 200 operations. The main difference is it has a parent and child relationship hierarchical support manner. So if you want to create one object is dependent on the other object, so that level we can do it with the object tree. So if, for example, if the account is if you want to create an account, that's the parent account, object you want to modify. Under that object, you want to modify the modify the contacts, and under the contacts, you can do opportunities, and those these are dependent in the hierarchical manner, right? So that can be done with the S object tree. So this is can be done with the 5 level hierarchical only. This only supports 5 levels, not under that. So rollback option is also available in the S object tree. Let's dive into the development part now. This is the Postman test we have done, right? Whatever the credentials we have used, is it working or not? We want to test it with the username, password, client ID, and the client secret. We saw that how do we get those, right? So we are able to get that credentials, and now let's jump into the Anypoint Studio and see how this configuration helps into in our Salesforce composite connector test. For this demo purpose, I have created one of the test application. Okay, this test application, um, if you see this, this is just has a main flow and the API kit router, and which calls the basically the particular endpoints. So, as I mentioned, we are talking about the three main connectors of the Salesforce Composite Connector, right? So, yeah, if you see this, there are so many connectors available under the Salesforce Composite Connector only. If you don't see it, search it in the Salesforce Exchange, you will be getting into the your palette. So mainly we are focusing on the batch, create a subject, and composite request. Um, okay, let's see how do we do it. For this flow, I just already created some subflows for this. Flows for this. So once you drag and drop one of them, and first we will be jumping into the composite request, and how do we test it out in our post. So if you see here is the in the palette you will be seeing like in a composite request, right? Once we drag and drop, you have to make a configuration. The configuration we are using is OAuth username and password configuration. Uh, Please type whatever the consumer key you got it from the Salesforce has been tested it from the Postman, right? So please paste that consumer key, consumer secret, the username and the password, and the security token. The endpoint, you can leave it as it is. This is a default token. This is the right endpoint, the Salesforce we will be calling. So that should be good enough. So let me delete it. I have already created the configuration. Here is the configuration. So in this here you see this my secret key and the password and the username and everything is encrypted, and I have placed them in the uh, my YAML file resource folder. I have placed them in the YAML file. I have used like an key and encrypted them. So you or else you can directly paste those credentials, whatever the IDs you got it from the Salesforce, or you can directly paste it over here. But for that's not a best practice, but for the testing purpose, it's okay. You can paste those here, but I have made them secure and paste it in the using of the secure configuration. I have placed in my YAML file and using those into the my composite connector configurations. Okay. Once the configuration is done, here there is nothing. There is much logic is happening on this particular composite request. Whatever the request we are going to send it, right? That will be uh, sending in the postman body only. That will be directly executed, and the response we are going to get it, and we are converting it to JSON and sending out. That's all. So let's jump into let's run this application and see how this composite request behaves. Okay. For now, I'm running in the debug mode and see whether the I want to see like and what is the payload sent to the composite request and how do we get the response back. Okay. While running the application getting deployed, I would like to explain like in what is happening, what is the request I'm sending, what is the request body, how it looks like, and I'll discuss about the how this happens. So this is the endpoint I have created, the composite this API Salesforce composite request. This is running currently on my local, right? So once this is a sample request, how do we send it? All or nothing is nothing but all or not, none equal to true is nothing but it's a rollback flag. We want to mention it. If one of them fails, roll back everything. If it is by default, it will be true. If you can make it as false, if you think there is should be a, like an no problem, like and if one of them fails, the other should be executed. So that the role you can make it as false, but default it will be true. So here is our main composite request starts in line number 3, and the composite request should be of array because each is a sub request. Okay. In this we can see that we are making a post method for the accounts. We are creating an account name of test account and the phone number we are giving, and we are giving the website and the billing city, billing industry, and the state, and we are giving the reference ID also. The reference ID is nothing but the where you want to save this sub request response. This is the reference ID where that by using the refer account is where the response of this sub request will be saved. As I mentioned, the composite request is dependent on the sub request might can be dependent on each other, right? So under the account, I would like to create a contact. So once first the sub request is got created by using that reference ID, what I got it from the creation of that account. Under that contact, under that account, I want to create an account. So create is nothing but post method, right? So if you see this, this is the method I'm saying post, and this is the URL, and the object I'm modifying is contact. So for that reference ID, I given contact and have created like my first name, last name, and the email address, phone number, and the title and the account ID which I want to tie this contact to. So from this referrer dot account is the response we got it from the main first request, right? So from that I'm extracting that account ID and applying to this contact so that these account and the contact will be tied together. Uh, and I said like in this can be also done with the sub request can be tied to each other, right? So the other they in the after creating the contact, I'm also creating the opportunity for that account. With the same account, I'm creating a new opportunity also. So for that, this is also post operation, and object I'm modifying is opportunity. I'm giving the reference ID as reference opportunity. This is the body. Under the body, I'm giving the what are the fields I want to pass it on, and the tying up this opportunity to this main first request referral referred account dot ID, so that this opportunity will be tied to this account. But this the last final one is creating a case which is independent. This sub request is not dependent of any of this main other sub requests. So in this request composite request, we have that flexibility to do um, de depend independent sub request as also. This case, while I'm this is the case I am creating, which is not dependent on one of this sub request. But coming to the this object, everything should be in a dependent manner only. This is an in the request you can do this independent operations also. I hope my application deployed. Got deployed. Let me send a request to my method. If you see this, the request came in. This is the request we send it to the this endpoint, right? So it's coming in. I haven't done any modification. The same whatever I got, I'm passing it from the postman is going to be called to the composite request. Let's jump in. I hope it got succeeded. So the response of this will be in a JSON format, in Java format. In this transform message, what I'm doing is I'm converting that Java object into the JSON. Um, because if you see this, we have sent four sub requests, right, in this first call. Each of in this call, so each of them has been created in a different object over here. So see this got referral account got failed. I think it says the 400 status code. Though so everything is got rolled back because we have passed that if one of them fails, everything should be fast, all or none. All of them be failed. So one the main I think the if you see the message, the country territory must be specified before the specifying the state. So there is some mm, field missing, I believe. So that's the that failed the account creation, the case creation, and even the case is not dependent on the account, but we have flag saying that, right? um, all or none, it will the case will also be failed. But if you say like an if all or none is equal to false, only the three sub requests will be failed because the account got failed. The contact and the sub request which is using the account reference will be failing, but the case will be created successfully. But for now, everything got failed because we have sent the flag. If you see this, the output will be always success 200, but make sure you do a proper error handling after this step. Check the status and do it. See that whatever I mentioned, right? So it's you can see clearly in the JSON. Let's try once with the all or none is equal to false, because if one of we know that the account is going to be failed, so that the case should not be affected, right? Let's give it a try whether it passes or not. Have done. See, let's see what is the response we got it. We got 4. Account got failed. Contact got failed. Opportunity got failed because all are three of them are dependent on each other. The mainly the account is depend contacts and opportunity is dependent on the account. But if you see this, we pass like an all or none is equal to false. The case got created. If you see the 201 success, let's pass it out. And here see everything got 400, but the case got created. Let's go to the Salesforce and verify it. This is the inspector I have installed. Let's search for the case. I think case. What is the field I have sent? Subject will see general inquiry. See, case got created. That which is good. I think I think the billing country was missing in the while creating the account, so I have added the billing country. So let's give it a try now. I have sent adding that. Let's see what we got it. 4 responses. Account even there is a problem with the state. Let's see. Let's pass it out. I think the state is also it should be of a full state name, I believe. Let's give it a try. I added instead of NY, I added the full name. Let's give it a try. Let's see what is the response. I got it. Yep, now the account got created. I hope the contact is also created and the opportunity is also created. See, now everything got created. See that we have created now with the once as you saw that right all or none how it is helpful, the flag is helpful, and once all or none is nothing but if it is true, if one of them fails everything will be failed. If it is false, only the if one of the sub request fails, the entire sub request whatever dependent on that will be failed, but the other sub requests which are not dependent that will be created. Let's verify the account got created or not with the name of, and see what is the under that we have, does we have a contact and the opportunity also. uh, See, we while testing I have created multiple times, right? The case have passed multiple times, so multiple cases got created with the general inquiry today. But let's ignore that. Let's dive into the account. See, this is the one I believe test account. Yes, this is the test account I have created today. Go to the Salesforce. Within the one sub request, there is another sub request which is referring created the contact with the help of this account, right? So if you let's see whether the contact is created under that. Yes, the contact is created and the opportunity is also created. Yes, that looks perfect. And the opportunity is of $50,000. Yes, yes, that's correct. I hope now we understand how do we use the Salesforce Composite Request and how do we do the rollback option. In this way, we can create up to 25 sub requests within the one call, and if you pass more than that, it will be saying like an outbound exception. So for now, this should be good enough, I believe. Let's jump into the batch processing, the composite batch, Salesforce Composite Batch. The main difference between the request and the batch is like in the sub request are not dependent on the each other. So the batch can be handled up to 25 requests. If you see this flow, it's a similar whatever I have created for the request. The request body, I'm going to send it to this connector. I'm sending it from the Postman, and I'm just converting the response into Java to the JSON object and dumping out. So let's go back. If you see this example, the composite batch is the endpoint I have created. And if you see this, there is no, as I mentioned, there is no rollback or anything. In the request, we have like an option of rollback, right? All or none, true or false. In the batch process, we don't have anything. It should be of array, but into the composite request, it should be of object, and under the object we will be saying all or none equal to true or false. We'll create a key called composite request. The composite request should be of array. But coming to the composite batch, it isn't directly an array. There is nothing called composite batch or anything. You will just pass the sub request in array format and call the connector. So in this uh, sub request, we are seeing like in creating the account, creating the contact, opportunity, and the case. If you see this, there is no reference ID or anything because each one of them is not dependent on each other, so there is no reference ID also. So other thing is I want to mention, um, these also supports up to 25 sub request only. Let's give it a call to our endpoint. Oh, sorry, I have did not placed an breakpoint, so it got executed. That's okay. But the response has been changed. If you see this response of the composite request, the composite response it comes it as it, and the each sub request has its own response with the ID and reference ID and everything. We since the composite connector response has one other additional field called has error is equal to true or false. Has error is nothing but it's true. It's if you want to confirm like if it is like in this call we are only sending 4 requests, right? If it is of 25 requests a sub request, it's we don't want to check like in each and everything, right, whether it's passed or not. So the main top there is an has error. If one of them fails, it will be saying as has error equal to true, meaning one something got failed, one of the sub request or multiple of the sub request got failed. But for whatever the case, whatever the request we have sent, none of them failed. Everything is 201 created. Not only the create, you can do update, a patch or delete or create. So you can do any operation based on your method. That operation will be happening. So for now, I'm just showing as a demo purpose as a post. So everything is a 200, 201 created state. So it's a success. Let's go back to the Salesforce and verify. Did I create account, right? Let's see batch account. This is the account I have created now. Let's show in the Salesforce. This account is not this is not dependent on we did not create any sub request. We can't do it in the batch, right? The sub request which might be dependent on this account. So nothing, the contact or opportunity, anything is not nothing got created under the account. Mm, so in the same way, I think case, contact, and everything is created. Let's see contact. Thing the contact I have created is Anu Sharma. Yeah, the contact got created, you can say it. And opportunity is also created, I believe. It's the same way, you can just check it out. The opportunity is batch opportunity. Yeah, you can see at the end batch opportunity got created, and the same way the case will be also created. I hope you understand the main difference between the composite request and the batch composite batch. The main difference is in the response. Has error is the one additional field you will be getting in the composite batch, but whereas you don't have it in the composite request response. Okay, and the additional field you can send it in the request is all or none in the request, but batch doesn't have that option. Next is our Salesforce as object tree. How do this is a create as object tree connector. You can drag it and drop it from your palette, and it's a similar thing. You have to configure the configuration. If you have a already configured Salesforce Connect configuration, you can use that. The main difference between the request and the batch and subject tree, as I mentioned, the subject tree is an hierarchical manner you can update the opportunities, what are the update the objects, right? So whereas the batch and request doesn't have that, but you have if you see the connector configurations, you don't have anything over here, but coming to the subject tree you have like what is the parent account, the root type you want to modify, you have to mention it over here. So that's the main on while doing the configuration, just keep in mind what is the root account or root object you want to modify on the Salesforce, that you have to mention, and call that a subject tree. Let's jump into the request body, how it looks like. If you as I mentioned, right, it's the main root object is account, and I'm giving the reference ID for that account. Reference ID has account 1, and I'm creating a name of that account. This is the body for that account, and under the account I'm creating the contact. So contact can be done, the base object has a main big update over there is like in the between this batch and the composite batch and the composite request is it can handle up to 200 sub requests, but the only disadvantage is it can only handle up to 5 hierarchical level under go objects. So account has like in contacts now, so I'm creating two contacts. Let me call my endpoint. So I'm sending in the call, have configured the root account, and under the root account I'm sending the what is the name of the root account, and let's see it got 200 successful. This also the subject also has error flag. uh, if it is one of them failed, it will be having like an true has error. If you see this, the reference ID or whatever the reference ID we given, right? So that will be giving the ID object IDs of that objects created or updated. So in this case, we have created two contacts and attribute as type of contact and the reference ID and the last name and the email address. Let's go and see whether account got created. What is the account name? SCTS Corporation. Yeah, here is the account I created. It has the two contacts. If you see this, two contacts created that under that account. Okay. Yeah, that's all for the Salesforce object tree. Thank you. Thanks for watching.